The way I think about it is that the universe actually labored for 14 billion years so that it could play. Not necessarily to lead to something else.
One of the things that I've noticed early on was that animals engage in this sort of funny behaviour that some people call play. And so when I asked my graduate mentor, what is this stuff? And he looked at me and said, well, nobody really knows.
Children out in a park kicking a ball.
Playing sports, playing games.
Drive to Atlanta, window shop.
Shoot pool, and I'll have a few beers, whatever.
Just having a good time.
Play is a lot of things to a lot of different people. And typically it's been characterized by what it isn't. So play isn't work, it is not serious, it is not functional.
Play's not sitting in front of a computer.
I'm big on the computer.
Or playing video games.
Play video games, Halo, stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, almost all of it is play.
I think the best way to understand play is to view it as a style, a way of dealing with the world.
And what it means, the first definition that you get for it in both Eric Partridge's Origins and the Oxford English Dictionary is startling. And it says, play, first definition, to pay attention.
I feel play is just starting something new, really starting something new. Just facing the unknown, facing the newness of yourself.
Play is almost always found when animals are free from other stresses in their life. If you're really stressed, fearful, starving, you aren't going to engage in play.
No, I don't play enough.
Absolutely not.
No.
We try. We honestly
No,
do.
not enough.
Probably not. I could always use more play.
Nah, I'm too busy.
People actually drop dead at their desks from overwork. In Japan, they have a name for that. They call it literally karoshi, or death from overwork.
In the end, what I've learned is that the play has an important feedback on the development of the brain that organisms need to have in order to be able to deal with unexpected things that occur in their lives.
The country in the world that has the highest test scores is Finland. And what we know about Finland's educational system is that kids are in school about the shortest amount of hours of any country in the world. They don't start school till the age of 7. They spend more time on art and music in the classroom than students in any other country. They don't even take tests. They don't get grades. We, on the other hand, think that the answer, like we think to everything, is just get people to knuckle down, nose to the grindstone, etc. So we have carried this so far that in half the school districts in the United States, recess has been cut back or eliminated.
So here we are in a situation with children who need movement for healthy physical development. I mean, bone development, muscle development. They need it for brain development. They need it for management of emotions. And yet that's not what we're doing.
I mean, this is nuts.
In other news for you this morning, there is a group of gamers. They have cracked a scientific puzzle that stumped AIDS researchers for years, and they did it in just 3 weeks.
A lot of the players who don't have sort of a biochemistry background have a lot of sort of fearless approaches, and they don't really know maybe what biochemists might think you're not supposed to do. So they're able to be really creative and come up with a lot of different interesting solutions to the problem.
Ale Duarte has worked with people affected by Hurricane Katrina, the Indian Ocean tsunami, and earthquakes in China.
The work with kids, work with play, also is a natural language. It's a new language.
Es a través del arte, ¿sí? A través de nuestra postura, de la estética y de la ética, vamos a poner en servicio nuestro trabajo para dar educación ciudadana.
The most important part of all of this is not why we need to play and why it's so critically important to our evolution, both as a species and as spiritual beings, but the most important thing is to just make it possible. One day I was watching CNN and I saw this news clip about children in Darfur and the conditions they were living in and the fact that they were able to play in those circumstances, and all they had was, in this one particular case, a rock.
The opportunity to have play and recreation and interaction, it's such a key part of what draws kids to school in settings like that. Sometimes the ball would get kicked too hard and hit the barbed wire. You would see the ball fly, everybody's following it, and then it hits the barbed wire and goes from this thing that's bringing everybody together in this source of hope and engagement, and you could watch the ball and the spirits of all the people, not only participants but observers, deflate.
I just bolted, sat up, and I went, I know how to fix that. We can do better. We've got to do better.
The reality of delivering a soccer ball to a group of 40 children who have almost nothing was really tremendous. And it made them so happy, it made them run, it made them play together. Instead of fighting over what little they had, a soccer ball inherently is a team sport and it's able to be shared.
To see children be able to play to their heart's content, we don't even know yet what that ripple effect is going to be like.
The young people are really showing us geezers the way right now.
When we had this idea to do a flash mob, we were kind of overwhelmed with how excited people were about it.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without dollars by my side.
Offering people an avenue to just come and play with us in the streets gave a lot of people the sort of permission to join in a more active way.
Walk out the door, just turn around now, you're not welcome anymore.
A lot of people think that play is something we'll get to when the revolution is over, when we've won it somehow.
What all of us want to do is to be kind of magnetizers and inviters of the story and going, come on over, you know, we're having a hell of a good time over here. And this is what makes the transformation of culture a sporting possibility.
there's a fullness in the moment of play that can be considered the way in which the universe is expressing its own magnificence and joy. Just that alone, in a real way, in a moment of deep play, in a moment of deep love, in a moment of deep celebration, that's why the universe exists. There, not for what it leads to, that moment.